So before starting my presentation, I would like to say that it's a big pleasure for me to be there in this conference and to tell the story of scent and scent recording. And so I would like to very much to say a big thank you to Becky, who invited me and who bring me this opportunity to speak with you. So now I will turn into screen sharing regime and will start my presentation. So today I will tell you why and how record scents. So I'm inventor of scent camera. And what is scent camera? It is a mobile device to record, store, and release scents. This idea came to me when I was master student of sociology, and I need to choose one book which to analyze, and I choose a book written by Patrick Siskin called Perfume. And this book inspires me a lot, and meanwhile asking a lot of questions, sociological one. And during this, let's say, analysis of the book, I find out several things. One thing I find out that there is some kind of hierarchy of senses, that we have more developed sight and technologies regarding sight and sound, and less developed technologies regarding smell, taste, and touch. That there is some kind of less developed technologies for some scents. That's one. And second, I understand that I would like to be one who would create medium for scent, so the scent recording technology. And then I went to different scientists, and I talked to a lot of scientists, and from them I understand several things. One thing which I understand from them, that from cognitive scientists, that scent directly triggers our emotions. The scent camera is not only medium for emotions, for scent, it is emotions as well. So that sense has some kind of this unique quality, much better triggers emotions than pictures or sounds. Next thing, what I understand from neuroscientists, when I speak with them a lot, I start understanding that sense triggers much better our memories than visuals or sounds. I was told that signals which comes from our nose goes through one station instead of 5, which usually or sometimes happen with our eyes or what we hear. And based on this, I start, of course, as a sociologist, try to understand whether this scent camera would be needed and to whom. And I made market survey. And in this market survey, I understand that that there are 72% of people who have experienced the scent that they would like to record. And so that most of us have experienced the sense or moments of scenting, scent sensations that we would like to record and to repeat. And during that survey, we find out that as well what kind of scents the people would like to record. Majority would like to record whether scents of flowers, and then second group is the sense of food and cooking. And of course, people would like not only to record these scents, but scents of different nature, like ocean, mountain, forests, as well as places. And one other category, which is not in here in this graph, is that most people would like to record as well. A huge part of people would like to record scents of other humans. Like it was 19% of all respondents who mentioned that they would like to record it. And after that, we made with our designers some kind of in-depth interviews regarding consumption of scents and what could be use cases for scent camera. And we understand that there are several ones. One is that most people would like to use. We have interviews with 12 scent lovers in-depth interviews, and we find out that the most use cases could be like, one is the travel. So you go somewhere in the travel, you record scents of some flowers, and you bring them home, and you show to the friends or family, etc. Or you store for a reason. Then is to record some kind of very important sense for you, whether it's a sense of their house or some sense from childhood or something like that, because this is just a particular sense which very a huge impact on our memory keeping. And third, as well, was that different kind of people would like to record different kind of scents which arouse their like desire or sexuality. Mostly it's like just to record sense of your partners and etc. And then we ask them what could be the usage in order to understand how people would use. And we understand several things. The one is that the people would use scent camera not as a huge diffusion, but with shots. They would like to go and to record scent camera. For example, you go into South America and find some incredible flower. You record it, scent flower, and then you come back and you just push button and it gives some kind of spray in very short amount of time. And for this, you remember and you experience this scent again. That's one thing that we find out. Second interesting thing that we find out that it's not that people would like to very intimately to consume scents. It's not like it's not like a group activity or activity more than one or two people, two or three people, but it's usually very individualistic. So it's mostly it's we recording them from consumption where we individualistically can listen that again. Yes, and of course, the second is a little bit more the people less than the minimalistic consumption, but there is still people who like to share it with very close friends. It's one or two, maybe with family. This is basically like key learnings from these interviews with potential users. So, and implying all these things or these inputs, we have created proof of concept prototype or analogous version for scent camera. It's in digital, but analogous, so which I will explain later on how it works. And we have created this together with two universities from Latvia, and we developed proof of concept prototype, which you see here as a suitcase. It's actually much smaller than that, but it's 1/4 of the suitcase this technology is, and which we will now trying to develop into more, let's say, more better and more appealing and more user-centric design. And we submitted patent application as well. So how this technology works? This is very chemical-oriented perspective, and it's like that. So, for example, a continuous example is going into South America and finding some incredible scent from some incredible flower, let's say, or from ocean or from mountains. So what you do when you found that scent which you wouldn't like to record, you push button record. And what does it mean? It means that it collects, captures and collects scent molecules with AirPod and sends them into storage unit. And the storage unit consists of chemical called sorbent. And this chemical called sorbent absorbs the scent molecules or connects them, right? This is like a very good storage environment for scent molecules. Then you're going home, right? And whether you want to smell for your own or you want to smell to share smell with a friend or family, then you push button play, and what it does, by pushing button play, device heats up sorbent, and by heating up sorbent, it disconnects sorbent from these scent molecules, and with air pump you pump them out. So, and by pumping out, you can re-smell the scent again. This is how it works. What it could be, use case for this technology, it could be very different, right? One use case, of course, would be that people would collect scents for their own personal memories. Let's say you have not only photo album, but you have scent album, right? Or you have scent, some kind of scent storage units. Then, of course, it could be museums, which could store scent as cultural heritage. It could be used as well as, let's say, in arts. There are some artists who would use scent camera to exhibit art based on the scents. Of course, it could be like in a research environment, an educational environment, where researchers and let's say teachers could use this technology to better understand and communicate and teach and explain scent world around us. But analog expression has important limitations. The first limitations, it's not possible to digitally transfer the scent. So it means that you need to in analog expression, you need to go and send scent storage unit to me, right, by post. It's one problem. Second problem, it's not digitally reproduced scent. So you just capture as much as you capture, as much as you can release, and even of course by releasing you lose some quantities. So it means it has no potential of reproduction. And third, of course, it could be problem with storing long time for several groups of scents, right? Because the different kind of scents that are more stable and more volatile scents, which gives some problems for us and for users to build that technology. And that's why I have some kind of feeling that maybe this same device could be built, but only from neuroscience perspective, so that we can digitalize it from neuroscience perspective. And that's why I'm looking for neuroscientists to try to understand whether it's possible to build, and if yes, then how to build scent camera from neuroscience perspective. What it may be, right? It may be that it could be like mobile device that reads and records a stimulus of olfactory signals. So that, for example, as not neuroscientist, I imagine that there could be possibility that we can read signals, what kind of scent molecules trigger us, and from reading that signals, and these signals go to our brain. So maybe we can read, decode that signal, and stimulate the signal, so that we can stimulate we can stimulate creation of the signal, not by molecules, not by chemical substance, but by some stimulations. This would allow us several things. This would allow us to build scent camera, which is digitalizing scent. So I can send you the scents, my scenting, let's say my scenting sensation, not as some kind of digital file which triggers emission of chemicals, but digital file which triggers which triggers stimulus to some kind of female filtration system. And of course, this use case could be for different use cases. One is, of course, maybe we can record much better, right? So what we do, we go and smell, and it records our inputs there, and then we could recreate. It could bring us opportunity to send each other, to transmit. It could bring us opportunity to synchronize this with other multimedia, like video, audio, pictures, like let's say with VR, home cinema, etc. And of course, one more very important aspect, it could help us maybe to build a device and to help to create sensations, those people who lost their sensing abilities. And as I understand, there are a lot of people who are lost or losing their sensing abilities due to COVID-19. And yes, and I even found some program where we can apply together. It's an ESC Pathfinder challenge call, which deadline is 27 October. And what is interesting there, that particularly one challenge of there are 3 challenges this year, and one challenge could quite fairly match with this idea. And it's tools, there is challenge for tools, to build tools to measure and stimulate activity in brain tissue. And I think this could be a very good opportunity to make maybe a small team or some small partnership and with institution, some kind of science institution, and to write application for this program and to develop this idea and technology and to create this scent camera from neuroscience perspective. So if you are interested in me, please contact me. You can WhatsApp me. Here you will find WhatsApp number, or email me. So thank you very much, and have a good conference and have a good time in this conference. So bye.